my best month I've ever had. $1,600 in sales. I figured I would share my screen with you. That seems to be like what I think would be the best way for you to see all of the items, pictures I used, all of those things. One thing that really helped this month, and I say this month, but really it's been since January I've been doing it, and I really feel like it's made a humongous difference, is the fact that I am checking comps on every single thing that I'm getting. And the only things that I definitely like don't typically check comps on. I know I said I check comps on every single thing, but there are exceptions. So if it's a bread and butter item that I know consistently sells well for me, as long as it's in excellent or new condition, I am picking it up. There is an example of that, and I will go through that with you. So let me share my screen. My March sales laid out for you, and I do Canva for everything, including my pictures for Poshmark, particularly thumbnail pictures and front and back views of items. So you can see my March 2024 sales are Poshmark is a little over $1,000, slightly over 500 on eBay, and that does not include shipping. And then Mercari, like I said, the little engine that could. This was total sales, and this was not including fees that were taken out. So after fees, it was, of course, less than this. I don't know if my Mercari ones are still up here. It looks like they accidentally got X'd out. But let's start with some Poshmark sales. So this was a sale that was my first sale for the month. I had sent out a pretty heavy offer. I had been keeping this for a really long time. Such a gorgeous dress. This is the brand name, Jessica, I think is how you call it. There were not many sold on Poshmark or eBay, but I knew it may sell in springtime. We're getting close to spring. It's April 9th or 10th. Today's the 10th that I'm filming this. So, I knew eventually it would sell, and I did buy it during the winter. This is the detailing, so beautiful. And I really don't think the picture gave it justice. Like, I almost feel like I should have put it on to model it. Maybe that would have sold it sooner. I don't know if you can see this down here, 34 likes. It had 34 likes and it wasn't moving. I had priced it, I think, at 75 based on comps, but it didn't move. So I sold it for 47 when I sent out I think it was a 40% off offer because I did want to get some sales moving. I got this for $6.99 at Goodwill. So I was very, very happy with that sale, and I made a decent profit on it. So even better. All right, my next sale for the month on Poshmark was this Free People Movement Way Home shorts, and they were a pink colorway. This was like a purplish pink, and I really have been super careful about using lots of keywords and putting the size in the middle. And I do that particularly because when I cross list to eBay, then I know the size is in the title. I think it's more important on eBay to make sure you're doing that. On Poshmark, the size shows up right here, whereas on eBay, you kind of sometimes have to search for it. But these ones sold on Poshmark. I was very happy with the $20 sale. I was looking at comps, and they were anything, I think, if I remember, from 8 all the way to like 30 or 35. So 20 was an offer that came in from a liker. I was super happy with this sale. It was extra large, so I thought it might sell for a little more than that. But to get a quick flip, this was a Plato's 90% off sale. So I think I got these for maybe $1.30 or $1.50, something like that. So this is the tag, just in case you're not familiar with it. You can see it probably was like a TJ Maxx or something like that with the, Sharpie line through it. These were so, so cute. I absolutely love the colorway on this, and it was very unique colorway. One thing I've been making sure that I do with every item since I started reselling, and I do think it makes a huge difference, is making sure that I have every single measurement there so that the buyer can see that. And I also make sure I include all the tags. I was so happy to move this on. This was an offer, an extreme offer that I sent out for, again, 40%. And this buyer actually then countered for $15. I had gotten this last summer, I think in June or July at a garage sale, and it was in a really nice local neighborhood. And so she had some very high-end things. I had gotten this for $2. So I still made, I made a $10 profit on it, but to hold on to it for, we're going on like, I don't know, 8 or 9 months now, something like that, to hold on to it for that long. So yeah, no, I was happy to move it on. Next one was, I loved this when I saw this at Salvation Army. This is LA Soul Queen Bee sweatshirt, and it was an extra large. If it was extra small, smaller, medium, I would not have gotten it, but I got this for $2 at Salvation Army. It was one of their 50% off tickets. I got it, I want to say October of last year. Do you want the window? Do you want the window screen open? Would that help? You want to look outside? There you go, Bubs. There you go, Maya. So I still made an okay profit. I would not get this again. There are other sweatshirt brands that just sell way better than this one, but this was like new. So I'm so happy for the buyer that they got this great deal. The next one was a garage sale find, and I promise you that there are some higher sales here that were very motivating, particularly on eBay. But this was also the beginning of the month, was moving some things on that I had had for a long time. Last May, I went to a local garage sale, again, in a very high-end neighborhood, and this woman had boxes. And when I tell you that she had boxes, she was bringing out boxes. This was a Saturday. She had started it on a Friday. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of Lululemon stuff that all sold on Friday, but she still had a ton of stuff. Anything that was not new with tags was $1. And if it was new with tags, it was $3. This was one of the last items to sell. And I had a bag full, a garbage bag full of items. So I was happy to move this on. This was a 40% off offer. The person got it for $15, and I made, I think, $11 after all was said and done. And for this brand name, that's great. Would I get this brand name again? No, I really would not. Okay, this was part of a bundle. This was the first item in the bundle. And this goes to show, this and the next one are a great example of why you cannot always trust comps on Poshmark. This did not sell for $22. The bundle sold for $43 between this and the other item. The other item was what held it at $43. I was just happy to move this on. I've had it for almost 2 years. And this particular item, I would never get again. I was so excited when I first started reselling, and I was just getting anything that I thought was cute or that I thought would resell. And I sent out an aggressive bundle deal because I wanted to move this one on. This was $1.50 at a clothes mentor, unless it were silk or cashmere or something like that. So the other item was a Calvin Klein, new without tags, that you can see it's a striped sleeveless dress. And again, office wear. So this was the tag, and I do think it was a newer Calvin Klein tag. I got this for $6.99 at a local Goodwill. I bought it a long time ago. You can tell because I didn't even use Canva at that time to brighten it up. And that maybe is why it took so long to sell. But the bundle together for those two items was $43. Okay, this sold in less than a month. I think it was about 2 weeks. Pendleton is one of my best wool-based brands that sells. I do sell a lot of merino wool and wool items. And I think I'm just drawn to them because I live in a colder climate. It's warm now, but we have long winters where I live. So I feel like I'm just kind of naturally drawn to like the wool items. This was a new with tags item. $30 may not seem like a lot for a new with tags item. However, this item was only $4.99, which is why I grabbed it. $4.99 for a new with tags Pendleton item is great. And then also, I based it on comps from eBay, and what I sold it for on Poshmark was right up along with comps on eBay. I was super happy with this sale. The buyer paid full price for it. I would definitely get it again. Absolutely happy with it. And it even had the very front of it still had this tag on it. So this was on the front of the item. All right, this was one of my best sales for the month. This is one of my favorite sales of all time, if I'm being honest. This is an LaFleur new with tags Hoffman blazer. This was a size 18. Now, I will tell you that I had to look forever to figure out the right size. I'm doing all these measurements and everything. I did find eventually a stock photo of it, and this was the tag. And right away, as soon as I got into the Salvation Army that's closest to my house has their new with tag sale rack like super close to the door. And so I always beeline it for this. This was a half off tag. So I got this for $4. I would have paid $10 or $20 even for it because I checked comps. This was an offer that came in from somebody. It wasn't even a liked item. She just offered $120. I had it marked for $135 based on eBay comps. And so I was very happy to accept that offer. And let me see if I can find, this was the style. For whatever reason, I didn't see that right away. And then let's see. It was 98% wool. I love this detail on the inside, super classy. And I usually lay my items flat to do the measurements because I feel like it shows the buyer that the measurements are accurate. All right, the next item was one of my own personal closet pieces. I have quite a few free people, and I love free people to resell it. I love it for myself. And so this was an item that I wore multiple times, and it still was in great condition. So this was the actual item. And just in case you are not familiar with, it is a We the Free versus just one of those little metal Free People tags. However, when I do mark it, I just say Free People. I have found that if I put We the Free, it does not sell as fast as if it's just Free People. And so this sold for 18. I had it listed for quite a while, and because it was my own personal one, when somebody offered 18 for it, I was very happy to accept that. This was a great quick flip. It flipped within 3 days of listing. This is a new brand for me, and I think it comes from, I'll have to look when we go through the different photos here, but Skies Are Blue is a fairly new brand within the last month for me. This was a large, which helped the sale of it. It is like a really bright pink color, and I love it. It was marked red though, which is kind of deceiving. So I did put pink in here, but it was new with tags, and it's the Hannah Modal Scuba blazer. It's an interesting name. It did have a flaw. It just had a tiny mark on the back, so I was sure to be careful about that. It went for 38. I got it for $9.99 at a local Goodwill, so flipping it quickly for 38, I was happy to accept that offer. This next one was an interesting sale. I've never picked up Charter Club. I would definitely get it again if it were a cashmere item for sure. Other items just do not have great comps. But when I looked up eBay comps for this particular one, I was so excited because I was like, well, this is good that I know another name brand of cashmere that will sell well. Charter Club is not overall a brand that I even care about, to be honest with you. But when I was at Savers, I looked up comps. This was marked down for $14 and change, I think 14.79. And because I had a coupon, I paid a little over $11 for this. And this was a same day flip. So the woman who put in an offer, I had it marked at 60, she offered 50, and I was like, absolutely. And then she sent me a message saying, thank you so much for accepting my offer. Can you mail it tomorrow? She had bought it on a Sunday. I mailed it Monday. She said she was going to a funeral and needed this. So I think that the case being possibly, I don't know this for sure, but possibly the person's favorite color was pink, or they loved wearing pink, something like that, that she was wearing pink to a funeral. I really hope she got it on time, but in any case, this was a great sale. Here's the tag, just in case you need it. This was on top of being cashmere, for it to be cable knit too. I mean, so beautiful. Um, this is what the sales tag looked like, and this is where I got the color from. A J. Crew merino wool camel button down. It was waist length, and I always put preppy for, generally speaking, for J. Crew, I do put the word preppy in there. This was a medium. If it had been an extra small or small, I probably would have left it behind, but mediums and larger, man, this is the example that I was talking about. There are some things that I know based on what has sold for me in the past, I don't have to look up. And one of them is the J. Crew merino wool sweaters that are in excellent or brand new condition. They sell the majority of time for full price. And this was a full price sale of $35. And here's the interesting thing. J. Crew is also a brand that, if it is a quality item, particularly the merino wool sweaters, it doesn't matter how old it is. It was from 2016 and it still was a full price sale. Oh, excuse me. It was from 2014. This is spring of 2014, but it was in excellent, almost like brand new condition. That was an exciting sale. This, I was just grateful to sell it. This was, and I neglected to say, I'm sorry, for the J. Crew item, that was a $4 Salvation Army purchase, and I would have paid even $6 for it because they sell that well for me. Okay, this next one was a Banana Republic. This was their luxury blend. And if you look at the tag, it says silk, cotton, and cashmere. And man, was this a well-made garment. This is a men's Banana Republic sweater. But I do enjoy selling this brand, and I $2.20 at a Plato's 90% off sale. Thank goodness this finally sold. This was another one that when I first started reselling, I thought this was the most amazing, prettiest dress. And it is actually a bathing suit cover up, which I actually had to go back and put that in the title. So this is Z&L. And this sold for 25. It was an offer from a liker. I had it marked at 50, which was way too high. I would not buy this brand again. The next one was a shock for me. I was absolutely shocked. This was a full price sale. This brand sits in my closet like luggage. Unless it's a super substantial item, I do not purchase this brand anymore. It is a Revolve brand. So this was called the Cuddled Up fleece roll sleeve going out dress, and I put date night and mini dress. So it was quite mini, if you can see the stock pictures, particularly in the back. So I do think that there's a particular buyer that may be looking for this dress, which could have been the reason it sat, along with the fact that it was an extra small. It had a really cool raw hem detail. So That was a full price sale, but it took over a year to sell. So I paid $6.99 at a Goodwill. This was such a great find. I was so excited to find this. Was a brand that I had never heard of. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but the brand name is Nodum. I don't know if this is a US brand or if it's from somewhere else around the world, but regardless, this was silk and cashmere. And I was so excited to find it because when I looked up comps, there were ones that were new with tags selling for over $100, and ones that were not new with tags were generally between 50 and 100. So this originally went for $295 retail. So to resell it for 75 is really awesome. And it's a really basic minimalist piece. Such a great staple, wardrobe staple. I would say so many categories: capsule wardrobe, wardrobe staple, minimalist. I got that sold in less than a month. This one was an offer that came in from a buyer, and I was very happy to send this off to a new home. I had this for, I think, 3 or 4 months, and this is the brand Talbot's. This is a really great bread and butter brand for me. I love selling Talbots. They have quirky prints. They have quirky novelty things. They have some really great basics. And I've gotten some things for my own personal closet. When you can find something for $2 like I found this one for, I can resell it for 20. That's a really great return. I don't want to hold on to these things. So when she offered 20 for it, I was like, yes. I wouldn't get a 6 petite again. Talbot's petite items that sell really well for me are anything from like 14 and up into the plus sizes. And this was within a couple weeks, I think actually 3 or 4 days of listing it. I got this, one of my real short recent videos was a quick 5-item haul from a local Mission thrift store. And so any money that they make goes to a local homeless shelter, which is amazing. I was very happy to support that. And this was like a new without tags, although I did not market new without tags. I just said, I think that it was, yeah, no known flaws. This was an item that on eBay had over 100% sell-through rate for this particular size in Liverpool. So here's the tag, and it was like such a dark navy, it was almost black. To take 35 as an offer from a liker, super happy with that. So this was a Victoria's Secret beach cover-up that was a long sleeve paisley, put boho. This was so beautiful. I knew I was going to have to wait for the right buyer to come along. And now that it's getting closer to vacation and summer, it has a 58-inch length, which is a full length, just like it would be if it were a maxi dress. And so I think that that is quite possibly why it took so long to sell. That sold for 28. And again, I got it for $6.99 at a local Goodwill. Would I get it again? Probably not. Okay, this was a quick flip. It sold within the week that I listed it. This was also in a recent haul video. This is the brand Worth. This is a brand that retails for a ton. It is a very expensive brand name, brand new. And what's interesting is there's not high demand in the resale market for it. So I have a few other Worth items in my closet that are just sitting. And so when somebody offered 25 for this, I jumped on it. I got this because it was a larger size. Is it a large or extra large? It was a large. If it had been a small, medium, or an extra small, I would have left it. I loved the style of this. It was just so cool. Okay, I was so happy to find this one at a local thrift store. It was at a Goodwill for $4.99, and this was part of a bundle as well. The bundle price, I was pricing it at, I think for the bundle, $60. She offered 50 or 45, I think 45. And I took it and ran with it. And you'll see with the other 2 items why I took and ran with it. I bought this at the end of February. And this I bought because Easter was coming. This woman bought these, I think, a week and a half before Easter. This is such a beautiful dress. Would I get it again? Absolutely. Chasing Fireflies, size 12 girls. So cute. Another item that went in the bundle in March to get a bathing suit top to sell is great. Now, I got this at a local garage sale in June or July of last year. It's from 2018. Oh, my protector. Calm down, Bubs. Calm down. It's probably the mailman or something. So here is the tag. For it to sell in 2024 and be from 2018, that is absolutely amazing. Last item in the bundle was this new aqua dress. This was a girl's dress. So I'm assuming that, you know, the buyer was looking for a couple options, either for Easter or for special occasions for her daughter. This was an item that a friend that I used to work out with at the gym gave me. This was a brand name. It's a really pricey brand name retail. This and the bikini item I was looking to move on, giving her an overall price of $45 was amazing. Next one was one that I probably would not get again. This was a Lacoste men's embroidered shirt. There are some items, and you'll see one in my eBay orders that from Lacoste do very, very well. It was in great condition, but it sat for a long time. This I got last year, I think in July. For like $1.50 at a Plato's 90% off sale. So it sat for a long time. The next one was another bundle. This was an unusual month. I very rarely get bundles, and I'm always marveling at people when they get huge bundles. I watch McThriftsy. She's one of my favorite YouTubers, and she gets a ton of bundles. But I think she gets bundles because she offers a lot of the same styles, and because people watch her videos, they know she gets very high quality items. She's very, very particular with what she picks up. And so I think people see that, they know, but also if they don't watch her channel, they probably see, you know, I can buy, you know, 3 soft surroundings items of the same size. So I think that's why she gets a lot of bundles. I don't know about other people, but I rarely do. I have a very eclectic closet on Poshmark, so I think that's why. But these were sold within 2 weeks of purchasing them. They were new without box, and they were part of that bundle. I gave her the bundle for, I think, 40, because the next item was one that I just was looking to move on. I loved these, and honestly, I was thinking if they don't sell, because I wear a size 7, I will use them next year if they don't sell by next fall, and they sold, so that was great. I was very happy with that. And this was the item that was in the bundle with it. I would never get these again. William Rast is a very pricey brand name, brand new. These I got for $5 at a garage sale last June or July, and they were a great size at size 32. Here is the tag. And I'm sorry I didn't show the tag or the bottom or the inside of those boots. So if there's another pair of shoes or boots, I'll be sure to do that. They were skinny. I'm quite sure if they were boot cut, if they were wide leg, if they were wide leg cropped, something like that, the comps may be better. I didn't check the comps for these. I was at a garage sale and I couldn't get reception to save my life. So this was just one of those situations where I took a chance. I would not get these again. And sometimes you take a chance and it's great. And sometimes you take a chance and it's like this. So I gave the bundle price was 40. She accepted it. She had put these in a bundle. So that was great. Okay, this was a quick flip. And this sold within the first 3 days of listing it. This is a brand name that I will definitely be keeping my eye out for. This was a Quince Mongolian cashmere sweater. It was a size small. Here's the tag in case you're looking for it. This is one of those brand names that's advertised as cashmere for less. So I think it may be, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, they advertise themselves as, you like Jenny Kane, you can get Quince for less with the same, quality. I put down quiet luxury. That seems to be like my new go-to for things that are, you know, like the neutral colors with great quality fabrics, things like that. It probably could have sold for 30 to 35, but there was a woman within the first 3 days. She offered 22. I countered at 25 and she accepted it. So I was very happy about that. I did put down that there was minor pilling, and one of the reasons that I was okay with selling it at 25 versus 30 or 35 was because it was a small. If it had been a large, I would have held out for 38 to 40 even, because the demand on eBay for larges, extra larges for this brand name was super amazing, like over 100% sell-through rate. But for smalls, it was closer to that, like 50% sell-through rate. So for a quick flip, and I got this for $4.99 at a local Goodwill. All right, I loved this blouse. This was a $2 purchase about 2 or 3 months ago at a local Goodwill, excuse me, Salvation Army. And this is the tag. I don't even think this was a newer tag. I don't think it was, but this was a medium. And in Zara, I like to get mediums and larger. Typically large and extra large do better for me. For $20 for an older tag, Zara is really good for a blouse. Like, this was a great button down blouse. Here's the front of it. I think I was lucky to find a stock photo. Um, just such a pretty design. The woman sent me a message. The buyer sent me this amazing message saying, I absolutely love this. Thank you for taking my offer. I love the print. It's even more pretty in person, something to that effect. So that always makes me feel good about selling it. But I put as many keywords as I could in there. I thought even brunch maybe with a cute pair of pants that it could go for. And for it to be originally priced at 59 and then to resell for 20, with it being a $2 purchase, that's pretty darn good. Okay, these were a pair that I got at a garage sale last year. I would not get these again for the amount of wear that was on them. I would get them brand new or looking like they were brand new. But these were a pair of Crocs. They were called the Patricia Wedge. I got them for $3 and they sold in March. I think that's pretty great that they sold in March. I had them for way too long though. And you can see that there is some wear on the bottom. I wouldn't buy them again. I think because they were a wider size, a wide size 9, that helped for them to sell at all. But again, I would not buy them again. They sold for 21, and that was an offer from a liker. This was a great sale. Eileen Fisher is one of my bread and butter brands. I love Eileen Fisher as a brand. I think it's one of those brands that people want, but not everybody can do the retail price. I mean, this was the retail price for this linen short sleeve jersey t-shirt. So, this one, man, it was like brand new. It really was. And for me to find it for $4 at the Salvation Army, that's not far from me. That was a great price too. And I think it was organic. Yeah, organic linen. I think one of the reasons that Eileen Fisher sells so much retail is because, first of all, they have super high quality items. They use a lot of great fabrics, linen, wool, cashmere, organic cotton, organic linen, and silk. So when I find a piece that is a quality, excuse me, fabric like this, I am super happy to get it. So if I can sell it for 30 or more, it makes me super happy. I just sold another Eileen Fisher a few days ago. That will be in an upcoming video, and it sold for 45 within an hour of listing. So people are definitely looking for this brand. I will not get it if it's an extra small or small unless it's a substantial item. You know, like that it's linen or if it's a dress or something like that. But for shirts, blouses, anything, I try to stick with larges, extra larges, and bigger. Okay, this was a great full price sale. And I had marked these at 30, wanting to get them sold very quickly. So this was Pilcrow. This is the newer label. I know it looks worn here. It's typically just a cream color. So these may have been washed a few times. These were at a local Plato's Closet, 90% off. So I got them for $1.70. This was a great quick flip. Like honestly, within, and when I say quick, I usually mean within the time that I list it and a month later. I think this was about a month. And so they were a great size too, which is the 31. I think that may be equivalent to a 10 or a 12, but such a cute print. And I don't have luck selling animal prints very often, so I was happy to get this moving to a new home. All right. Blazers are my jam. If I was told that I could no longer sell blazers, I would be devastated because they sell fast and they sell well for me. This sold within about 3 or 4 months. And I think that's pretty great for blazers to sell within 3 or 4 months. This is a Ralph Lauren, and for it to be a size 4. This was 100% wool. That was part of the reason I got it. It looked flawless. I loved this. And if it had been my size, I probably would have kept it for myself. Again, going with the neutrals, wardrobe staples, capsule wardrobes. I am stumbling on my words today. I'm so sorry. One thing I wanted to show you with the blazers is I do this. This is one of the reasons I think that blazers sell well for me is I open it up on a flat surface, or I take pictures. If it's hanging up, I'll take pictures of the inside. On one side, we're gonna have to pause.
Just wanted to throw you in the card. And
I know you know good people. Did you walk that?
yeah, I walked them because the mail order came, so I just the mail order came, so I just and then we also have this too, Uncle Joe.
Oh, sure, of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your dog is so cute.
Yeah, she is. Do you want to come in and get a snack or anything, or are you gonna head home?
I'm fine. I'll probably just at home.
Okay. Thanks
Alright.
for stopping by, Edith. All right, tell your mama I talked to her later. Okay, so this is this was my nephew at the door. He's such a great kid, and he just started selling on eBay. So he brought a thank you note over for to me and my husband because my husband bought something from him on eBay. And so it just warms my heart. He's, I think, 16, if I'm remembering correctly. Such a great kid. Okay. So this Ralph Lauren blazer, this sold, I think, 3 or 4 months, like I said, and this was not a full price sale. I had marked it at 60. Somebody sent in an offer to me for 45. So I was very happy to accept that. Okay, let's go into some sales from eBay. All right, so eBay was a great month for me, and this was an interesting sale. I listed this on October 23rd. I had bought them at a garage sale for $3, and I bought them in, I think, July of last year. They sold on eBay in August of last year, and then they were returned to me. The woman returned them in pristine condition with the tag still on them. Let me see if I can find the tag. Here's the tag picture. So $3 into 40 after being returned and relisted. Absolutely. And they didn't sell for that much the first time. They sold for, I think, 30 or 35 the first time. So for them to resell for this much was pretty great. Okay. This is a dress that I will never sell again. However, I was happy to move it on. A friend of mine, the same one that gave me that girl's aqua dress, gave me this to resell for her. I already sent her her portion of the money. This particular dress was really great for like a night out or something like that. I was so glad that I found the stock photo because I don't think it would have even sold at all without it. And that happens sometimes. You have to decide for your business if you're willing to use the stock photo or not. If you want to take that risk, I felt like it was necessary for this one. And this probably originally sold for or was listed or I'm stumbling again, was in a store probably for over $100. I think it may be a Nordstrom brand. I don't know for sure. It sold for 28 and that was an offer, a counter offer. So I had sent a 15% offer out to the person who was interested in it and they countered at 28. So I was really happy to move this on to another home. That was great. Okay, here's what I'm talking about with the Lacoste items. And I don't know if it's Lacoste or Lacoste. Maya, come here. Come here. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Oh, you know you have a dog when you end up sitting on a femur bone? Really, Maya? This particular sweater was such a great purchase because when I listed it, it was October 4th. Now it had been listed on Poshmark, I think for 3 or 4 months before this. And then I finally cross-listed it onto eBay and it took until March for it to sell. It sold for 85. This is what I originally had it priced at. And somebody who was interested in it sent me an offer of 85 and I was so happy to accept that offer. So here's the tag. This was equivalent to, I think, an extra small or small. If you hear anything, it's my dog chewing on the femur bone. But I did a close-up of the alligator or crocodile. It had some really great detailing here. And that was the back of it. So absolutely worth the wait. Yes, it was a size 4, equivalent to a size 4. This is a Lacoste item I would definitely get again and super excited to send that out. This was another shock for the month, a full price sale. Okay, here is where I have learned to stick to my guns. I really have learned the hard way that if you check comps and something can sell for really high price like this, because it's either a rare item, it's a unique color, it's a unique print, something, or if it's something that is a blogger favorite, like a lot of Zara items are, stick to your guns. If somebody sends you a lowball offer and you know that it may just take some time for it to sell, then stick to your guns. And it sold for full price. And this was only $6.99, this Madewell piece. And I couldn't find initially how much it was worth retail, but it was worth close to $200 retail. And Madewell items typically aren't that high. Definitely would get it again. Absolutely. This was another shock. I really was not expecting this to sell for $30. This is what I priced it at. I got it for $4 at a garage sale last June or July. I think the same garage sale or area where I got that Athleta bikini top, and it took a long time for this to sell. I think I would probably get it again if it were maybe $1 or $2 at a garage sale, but 4 maybe not so much because I had to wait so long. But another reason why it may have taken longer to sell is because it was a size small, but I got it because I thought the colorway was so good. It was like a heathered chartreuse. Such a cool, I put heathered bright yellow because I wanted people to see how bright it was, and not everybody knows what chartreuse is. Having a full price sale of $30 is pretty darn good for a top like this. All right. All right, my girl Eileen Fisher again. I listed this on March 19th and it sold on March 21st. I've been really also honing in on Pinterest and blogs and things like that on like what is an in style right now. So literally a few days before I went to Savers, I was looking up styles like what are some good minimalist styles for spring, and cropped cardigans, cropped open front cardigans came up, and also cream or ivory came up. And, you know, this Eileen Fisher, man, I'm saying like it was Eileen Fisher. It was Italian yarn. It was knit. It was cropped. It was cream. Like it had all of the boxes X'd. And I've also been taking pictures of the armpits because I really think it's important for the buyer to see there's no deodorant stains. There's no stains from perspiration. Let's be honest. Sometimes lighter colors hold the stains, right? This was a full price sale. And I get more full price sales on eBay than I do Poshmark. I get more offers from likers on Poshmark. And the other skies are blue blazer that I had. I found this at a different Goodwill. Actually, the following day, I was on my way home from somewhere and just quickly stopped in. This was the only item out of 12 items that I checked on comps that I ended up getting. Skies are blue, a medium. I probably would not get extra small or small. I paid the same price, $9.99. I did find a stock photo, and so I stuck that in there. This had ruched sleeves. It was called the Raja Blazer, and it's a Stitch Fix brand. I don't know Stitch Fix and those other boxes that sell monthly like I should. So I'm gonna have to do some more research on that, but I at least know skies are blue. Excellent, excellent sell-through rate on eBay, like amazing. And Poshmark had a ton sold too, although it's very hard to figure out sell-through rate on Poshmark, but you can at least see how many of that color and item have sold. You can look at the date. However, that's not always the most reliable either, because it could have been 2 years ago on January 9th. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily the most reliable, but I do take pictures of the inside of the blazer. And again, with measurements, so important. And this was the other one, I think the other skies are blue, I think may have been modal. This was polyester. So for it to sell, and it sold for $35, and it was within a few days. So that was a great sale. I know it says 43 here, but the person, sent an offer for 35 and I was happy to accept. Okay, this sold super fast. So I had marked it for 42 based on comps. However, when I purchased it, I didn't know that there was a flaw. It was very easily missed. This is a new brand name to me. I would definitely get it again. Tianello. I was shocked. Absolutely 100% shocked, because I would have never thought this brand name would have had some kind of following on eBay. And I don't know a lot about this name brand, but one thing I do know is that it had a something I had to look up. And you can see in the listing, it says 100% Bemberg. And I was like, I've never heard of this fabric before. And because I like to go down the rabbit hole with a lot of things and try and like figure things out to nauseam, I was looking this up and trying to figure out everything I could. This is like a super high quality polyester. That's all it is. I listed this on March 19th. It sold on the 22nd. I spent about $6 and change at Savers. I would definitely get it again for a quick flip. The woman offered me 20 initially. I countered at 28 and then she countered back at 21. I could not counter again on eBay. I wanted to counter for 25 and see what she would do. 21 is still okay. It's not great, but considering the flaw that you can see here, it just had some white marks that I don't know what happened at the thrift store. If I'm being honest, I think thrift store lighting stinks for a reason. I think sometimes, and I'm being silly, I know that they have their lighting and it's fine. I'm being very silly when I say this. I find sometimes I'm at the thrift store looking at an item to nauseam and I don't see the flaw. And then I get home and I'm like, how did I not see this flaw? But it's such a great blouse. I thought it was so cool. So not the best profit, but I would get an unflawed Tianello item again because the comps were that good. I was happy to move on. This was an offer from somebody who was a watcher. I got it last year at a yellow tag sale at TJ Maxx for $3. And I love yellow tag sales if they're rare items. I really thought that this was a better brand name than it was. Now, just because it was originally retail for over $100 does not mean it's going to resell, even though it's got new tags. It was a 2XL. I wouldn't get it again. I thought it was such a cute bathing suit, but I wouldn't get it again. It was not worth the time and effort to list it to just get a $17 sale almost a year later. I got this for 97 cents at the Goodwill bins. We have one about an hour away from us, which I haven't gotten to since I got this there. But this was a vintage play school boys 4T kids shorts train. And I put choo choo in the title because it said choo choo on it. So stinking cute. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and I remember seeing the boys in my neighborhood wear shorts like this. I wore shorts like this. I mean, you remember the old elastic that as an adult you would never wear something like this that's that uncomfortable, but as a kid your parents put it on you because they didn't want your shorts or your pants falling down, and they didn't because they hung on like freaking glue. But yeah, so these sold for 15, which was fine. I was happy to move them on. I was actually ready to start cross listing to Etsy, and I thought maybe I might get a full price sale there, but they sold on eBay, which was great. This was a offer from a watcher. I was so excited to sell this. She sent an offer for 45. I was happy to accept. And this is a North Face windbreaker. It's called the Dry Vent Waterproof Windbreaker. I got this for $12.99 at a local Goodwill. I would not pay $12.99 again. Even I have to be so careful how I spend money because I have such a very small, super part-time business for reselling. So spending $12.99, I was happy to move this, but it took a long time. It took since like last spring or summer. So it could have been about a year or slightly over for it to make a $45 sale. I don't know that $12.99 was the smartest purchase, but it was really like brand new. There were maybe a couple fuzzies that I pulled out of the Velcro, but that's such a nice item. Okay, I had this for quite a while, so I was happy to move this on. This was a size 10 Bowden piece, and this was a 10 petite. So I would no longer get Bowden petite items unless they're a size 14 or larger. They just don't move. Bowden is a great bread and butter brand for me in non-petite items. However, yeah, so the regular and the talls, they sell great for me, but the petites just don't. And I absolutely love this dress. This was called the Ori dress, and it was this beautiful linen paisley dress. It really did look like it had never been worn. I got it at a Salvation Army for $4. So the cost of goods was not high. And then I got a message from the buyer who had sent in the offer to me. And she was like, I'm going to be wearing this to my son's high school graduation. And so I'm so excited. I can't wait to receive it. And then when she did, she said, this is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you so much. I love wearing Bowden. I'm so grateful. And so that made me feel even better about the fact that I accepted her $25 offer. This was a great sale. I got an offer for 35 and I was happy to accept that. I had them listed at 40. This pair of Zara pants was a faux leather. I worked like crazy to try and find a stock photo. I think this is newer tag, and they were a size large. They were $4 at a local Salvation Army. Super happy with this purchase and this sale. Just want to show you, I do the waist measurements. I do the rise measurements. If you're not familiar with rise, that's basically right from between the legs all the way up to the top hem, where the button or the zipper ends. And then some people are really looking for that high rise now, and these are high rise. I think it's anything that's above 9.5 inches or 10 inches is considered high rise. And I think super high rise, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, is like 13 inches and above, which is like me, I'm super short. So that would be like up to my boobs. But yeah, so this pair of Zara pants was like brand new. This was great. It did take a while for it to sell, but that's okay. That was an inseam measurement. I also measured the leg opening because I wanted people to see that it was narrow. However, you can see the zipper down there. It did open, like if you wanted to wear a pair of ankle boots or something like that, or if you have wider calves, that would have been a great thing for you. And the leg opening at the top. Now, this is one of my new favorite brand names to sell. I listed it on February 16th. I had gotten it on the same day at a local AmVets, and I love going to get items to resell at AmVets. They get some really high quality items there, and I think people really like donating to AmVets because it's a great place to support. So Quacker Factory is one of my new favorite brand names to resell. I think anything extra large and up, when I looked on comps, resold well. This was over 100% sell-through rate for this size. They sell some really cute, quirky stuff. This had, you can see the witches on there, and it was sequined and beaded, and then the cat at the bottom. So, so cute. I thought it might take until October for it to resell, and for it to sell within a month of listing it in March, that's pretty great. I do think there's a following with this brand. I think it may be a QVC brand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it may be QVC. Here's the other thing. If people are following a certain brand, if this brand, whether it be Quacker Factory or another brand, maybe Zara, I don't know, but they're looking for a particular item and that item no longer sells retail. Maybe this was an item that they only had for a limited amount of time because it is more of like a quote unquote holiday item, specific time of year. Maybe this person's a teacher and they like to dress up for this month, or maybe they're just looking for something really cute for that time of the month. So this was a full price sale at $32. Super happy with that. The other two that I got that particular month, I also listed on Poshmark right on February 16th. They were same day sales. They were new with tag items, same day sales. And that's how I was like, yes, this is one of my new favorite brand names. They were also 3X's. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. Be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel, and hit notification bell just so that you can see when the next video is coming out. And I will see you next time. Bye.